kind of soft walls and hard walls in freemium. A soft wall is a little bit of a challenge, but you can achieve it regularly, 60% of the time, 75% of the time. You can overcome it. Or it's just a speed up. Meaning, if you ever play those building games, Farmville and Ebony, etc., you start the game going really, really fast. And then as you play, everything you want to do gets slower and slower and slower. It costs more and more gold. But if you kick in a buck, you speed up again for a little while, and then you come back down. The game is not forcing you to stop playing. It's not letting you progress, so we call it a soft wall. A hard wall is when you can't progress. If this gets so far down that you're completely grinding and you feel like you're making no progress at all, this has become a hard wall. So Candy Crush does it, and they do it at a very good time. The first hard wall I ever experienced in the game is after level 60. If you play a game and you're hit with a hard wall at level 5, right, that's almost like you're playing a demo and not a freemium game. It's either pay or get out. But by the time somebody reached level 60, they're hooked.
They've invested too much in it.
They've invested a lot of time, right? You know, even if it only takes 5 minutes to complete each level, they've also failed multiple times on multiple levels before. They've got a certain number of lives, and then they fail, they have to wait a certain number of hours to come back. Kind of a hard wall. But eventually you get to a level where mathematically, the odds of beating it is like 1 in 1,000. Not 1 in 100, but 1 in 1,000. And they trick you a little bit. I don't want to use the word trick, I probably shouldn't, but they're not being very nice in the market anyway. Right? You think you can pass it, and you keep playing it, and it's got that random element of the pieces falling down, and the pieces that explode sideways and upwards that hit other pieces. But there's a level, and they did a really good job. It looks really cool. If you ever played match 3, you know how important it is to have the pieces around your objectives, because that's basically what you're playing with. So, this part is what's called the jelly. And it's double jelly. So you have to make a match 3, or explode these pieces 12 times to clear out that jelly. That's the objective of the level. What they do, though, is they don't let you move any of the pieces here. It's all hidden. And then you can only move the pieces here and here. And that matters because you can't connect these two jellies. It's really hard. Basically what happens is you need about 30 to 40 moves to finish the stage, and they only give you about 28. My numbers could be off. They could be giving you 32, but my point is you need more. Even if something drops down and you get a free move, you still need like 8 of those to get past the level. What they've done is they've basically created a hard wall that you don't even really notice unless you play it 100 times.
What level is that at?
It's after 60. I went back and looked at, I'm trying to find the actual level, and I went back and looked at the walkthroughs, and I still can't find it, but it was at that point. I know it's at that point because it's at a certain bend in the map, and that's where everybody I know stops playing, including me.
Right.
Unless they want to pay money, which they do. A lot of people do. Amazing.
I mean, if you're getting the value for what you pay, then it's not.
Oh, I'm not knocking the
okay.
freemium model. I'll knock King all day,
Okay.
but not knocking the freemium model. They actually did a good job. Like, I hate to say it at this point, but the reason we're talking about Candy Crush is because they're one of the freemium games that did it right. They did a really good job of keeping you in the game. They did a really good job of getting you to share it with your friends so you get extra lives, right? So you can keep playing. They did everything right. That's why we're talking about them. If I brought up a bad game, a bad freemium game, can't turn it into an hour discussion.